Hello there guys, Elita Legionarii here, and I'll be bringing you another 31k 1v1 against PaladinBob for Rome Total War. Now, before this battle begins, I'd like to point out that I'm going to perform plagiarism of Biscuits' formation. I'm sure you won't hold it against me, Biscuits, but I'm going to plagiarise your formation and make it my own in this particular battle, because it is a very good formation. I've taken basically exactly the same army that Biscuits used against me, and I just really liked it and was impressed with his work with that army, so plagiarism for the win in this particular battle. So, this army is 2 units of urban cohort, actually 3 units of urban cohort in the loose formation, they're gold, 4 here. It's actually going to be 3 there, so I'm going to move this one to the flanks. So it'll be 3 gold urban cohorts taking up the centre, a legionary first cohort for the morale boost, and then on the flanks, Biscuits likes to have a loose formation urban, then 2 more urbans for an outflanking procedure. I'm going to repeat that on my flanks. I was very impressed with the formation, and he uses it quite successfully, quite regularly, so I wanted to try it out myself. So plagiarised, but I'm sure Biscuits stole some of my CWB builds, so I consider it fair game. So anyway, it's a really good formation, and I commend him for it, because I found every time he uses it very effective, and I rather like it. And of course, it gives like the bonus of getting crossfire with your peeler, and it gives that kind of like units on the flank, causes a bit of morale shock. However, it does. Usually Biscuits uses a slightly different formation that has 5 Praetorian cav. In this case he used a formation that only had 4, but I really liked it, so I have to try it out myself. So I should be able to implement it against Bob. And of course I'm using the Scipii as well, so I'm really copying him in this particular battle. So anyway, PaladinBob is using the Julio, which is my favourite. Now he's gone with a wee bit different build, similar kind of setup, but his cavalry is extremely heavily upgraded. I think they're like gold and 2 experience. He's got 4 on this flank with that set up. He's got a Roman archer. Then he has 2 units of light auxilia, which is silver, I'd say, well, at least 4 upgrades. Then he's got another silver Roman archer. Then he's got a much less upgraded Praetorian on this flank, and then he's got another one on this flank. So he's got 4 extremely heavily upgraded ones on that flank. Then he's got 4 units of Praetorian cohorts, which are 5 upgrades. They look pretty damn cool. You haven't seen many Praetorians, I guess that's what they look like on this new skin mod. And then behind them he's got 2 legionary first cohorts, and then 4 urban cohorts. All what you got. These legionary firsts are silver, these urbans are goldish. So he's gone mostly to his cavalry. So anyway, I move up here with my guys here, and he gets a few peeler off, but I'm going to get my peeler out, and we're going to begin. Now I decided to use this flanking force here as a support to my cavalry, because I realise I'll lose a cavalry fight against that many upgrades, but I can use this one for the outflanking procedure, so I'm going to make good use of Biscuits' formation there. And I do very well here. This unit's not in loose formation, and his guys take some severe punishment from my guys here. Now I kind of was a bit slow putting on the peeler here, but it turns out alright, because I managed to put down a bunch into it and knock 20 men out of that unit, so it's all good, and my urbans will be able to defeat those. Now I see an opportunity to actually destroy this unit, so one of these wedge cavalry Praetorian cav will come in, and I'll be able to attack it, so I'm going to do that now. He's moving on to my flank with his cav, so I'll be careful there. I'm going to use these guys here, as I said before, to kind of assist me in the cavalry fight. But I see an opportunity to rout this lot, and he pulls his general in here. As you can see, my cav comes in, and I get that wonderful rout from the wedge charge. And his general gets off to a very bad start as a result. So here I see he makes a bit of a mistake, so I'm going to get a quick charge on it and put this guy down, and I'll be able to rout it. Here he's going behind me, so I'm going to pull in close to my line into my first cohort to use that to assist my morale, and I managed to break that unit there. Turn these guys around. Now he does get a better charge, but I am in wedge, which means I get him a bonus. But I'm going to turn these units around and use them to an assist. Because these guys won their fight, I can turn them around and get an encirclement on Bob. Over this side, the infantry fight goes my way, as my army is much more heavily upgraded, or heavy in the infantry department with more urban cohorts. I go around here for the flanking, and I'm going to try and get the surround going. I'm going to try and go right around too and get the complete encirclement. I do believe I hurl some peeler here, or if I don't, I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I already did it, maybe I didn't. I would have thought I would have done it, so I guess I just hurled these guys in, and I get the full encirclement of Bob's, so it's much more superior cav with upgrades, which will enable me to destroy those cavalry, but they'll be a bit, they'll be tough to get rid of because they're very heavily upgraded. At this stage I decide, right, it's time to make sure because Bob's probably distracted with that sort of fight. He sends his cav in as well to assist, but I left this reserve to help, and I destroy those guys all at the same time. But because Bob's distracted probably with that, I decide to put the pressure on and begin the infantry fight. However, I'm going to let these guys throw their peeler in a moment, if I haven't already. I might have missed it actually. Or am I just going to move them up into a position to do so? I don't know. Here Bob actually comes around, he's got his other cav here, but he really needed that cav up here to help. But he's going to try and get a hammer and anvil strike here. But this urban cohort doesn't actually break, so there's a bit of urban OP-ness coming in to give me an assist. I decided to move these guys up a bit, so I can make use of my peeler now. As you can see over here, the cavalry fights going on. These are early first cohorts, so my urban cohort will have them for dinner as well. And here come the peeler now. And they'll probably all hit his first cohort there in the back, which is alright. But yeah, they all target it there. And that unit takes a serious thrashing. So at this stage, I'm just going to move around to his flank and break him apart with my cavalry. And I kill this general there. And now I just commit the rest of most of my infantry to this last fight here. And send my cavalry around, and I'll be able to destroy the rest of his infantry there. But the fight's going nicely in my favour at this stage, all on the flanks. Now bring in my other guys here, and it cracks through on this side, killing his general before. And that's basically it. I bring my cavalry around, and I'm behind him. Nice wedge charge into his flank, and that will break Bob's army. So I was very pleased with that. I like your build there, Biscuits. I might have to make use of it myself, but it's not just Biscuits build I'll use. I've looked at a lot of other 31k players builds, and I'm going to give them all a bunch of testing, I think, just so I can get a feel for how they work. But I very much like this tricker build, this build that you use, Biscuits. I think it's very good, and I can see why you're very consistent with it. So there's a clear victory, 1,216 kills for me. It's over 1,000 million remaining, and then 466 kills for PaladinBob. So it didn't go too well from that time. He went for a bit of a gamble with those cav there. He let them get quite far isolated from his infantry support, so I was able to kind of gang up on them and destroy them. So my Praetorian cavalry, except for this one, all did very, very good against cav that was more upgraded. As you can see, these urban cohorts, ones that got into the battle, did a lot of damage. It didn't really take many losses. This one took the biggest loss of 70, but it took 102 before it died. So actually, no, this one took 125. So I definitely had the upper hand in that fight. I had a much superior infantry corps than him, whereas he had a much stronger cavalry corps and slightly more. So he put more into his cav, but he let it get too isolated from his infantry in that fight, which allowed me to support it. So a good game to Bob. Again, guys, be sure to check his channel out. I'm not sure if he's going to upload some of these battles. He might. And he'll get you from his perspective. So good game, Bob. Thanks for playing, and thank you for watching, guys. And thank you, Biscuits, for the build. I know you stole some of my builds, probably adapted a few of them too, so I am going to be stealing yours from time to time, so many thanks for that. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you soon next time.